Okay, welcome back, folks. So we have a replay from Steel once again, and according to him, this is the best game that he's ever played. However, in the message that he sent me, he says that this is a battle of inches and that I should speed up the replay. So that is what we will do. We'll put it up to 3 times speed. He said it's 35 minutes long. We are not going to sit here for 35 minutes long. I've already showcased a 2 hour long game. It was extremely riveting gameplay. I did get a comment from one of the folks that I do cast his replays on, and he said that I should kind of stick to a more sports analyst commentator style. That's never going to happen because one, I would never watch one of these videos if I did that. And because I wouldn't watch one of those videos, I'm not going to make a video like that. It is not going to happen. I mean, like I said in that long game that I casted, um, yeah, it is riveting gameplay just watching the dots move around for 2 hours. And since Steel has already mentioned that this is going to be a battle of inches, yeah, not going to happen. So we have his opponent Honokari 789. Both players are boosting the ecos. We've already got skirmishes in the southern flank here. Cycling is going on. Very nice. We have not seen any real major redeployments. So the game is on. I believe both sides are going for lights. Nope. Okay, so Hono has gone for tank. I'm gonna need to keep track of that. I believe Steel has built one light. Right. We have remaneuvering here in the south. He stacked up a reserve of one light, one tank, up against two lights. He's got a numerical and yeah, he's got a numerical advantage. He's also got an armor advantage. We have no movement in the north. So I would, of course, would have recommended that if you're the red player here, in case Steel, you push the north. But I know Steel's micro capabilities, so I wouldn't recommend him pushing this. In theory, this is a good opportunity to push. You got a 2-on-1 mismatch in terms of armor. It gives you all the advantages you really need to make the push. But knowing how Steel plays, that would be a massive mistake because he would make a mistake. He would blunder a couple of units, and then if the game kept on going that way, it would result in a snowball effect for Hono. So yes, I approve of everything that's going on right now. Lots of cycling, lots of going around back to the city. Good uses of reserves here. Very good, big improvement from previous games. Right, we have a breakthrough in the south. He's managed to get the mismatch, especially with the armor. He's broken through. Ono has redeployed armor from the back. I think this is the tank that he built actually. Is quite degraded. But this is good. You can apply pressure. Yes, very nice. You got this guy pinned. You can get the kill out there. Yes, pushing with the armor onto the front line. You break that. That's very good, very good, very good. Now this is dangerous right here. You got to be real careful when you got a breakthrough like this and you're near the enemy city, and you also have to, take into account the mountains here. You could very easily get yourself trapped, especially if you're trying to micro on this other part of the flank here. Yes, yeah. So he doesn't push. He doesn't commit through the breakthrough. I'm completely fine with that. Nothing wrong. You didn't have that enough of a numerical advantage to really commit to a full push to go for the city. If you wanted to do that, you really needed to have generated enough forces in terms of health and morale, and then commit to that attack, which you didn't have at the time. You still don't have it now. So just playing for position right now, you've opened up this side of the flank. That's good enough. That's a good win right there. No activity in the north. Okay, looking good. I believe Steel has only built lights. I don't quite see any extra armor units. Ono, on the other hand, I believe has built 2 extra armor. Let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Ono, I believe, has gone for a full armor build. Very interesting. which is interesting because in the previous replay, which the last replay that I posted, that was like my gameplay. We played this exact map and this exact build order, basically. Hono on the blue side on the left goes full armor, and I also played red on the right flank, went full lights. Getting to the 12-minute 50 mark, so about halfway through the battle. In terms of casualties, they're even. In terms of troops, Steel is way ahead, but that's just because he's built lights. When you're building lights, you can replenish and resupply them much faster, so you can put them in the field fully replenished much faster. But you're going to see this number flip in a second here, because we've got all the tanks in the rear of Hono's lines. They're all being replenished right now. They're all about half strength now, I believe. So we just give them a couple more minutes and they'll be full, and then the game will. I'm expecting there to be a very big push. No point in building this much armor and not use it, and especially since it's mainly plains tiles. Yeah, you're gonna have a massive advantage. I do not know if Steel realizes this. Um, like in the previous game where I played, I mentioned that I did realize it and I did try to take the actions that would, best counter it. It's just that lack of experience trying to at the time of recording that game, I wasn't thinking straight. I didn't capitalize on my advantages enough to really punish the opponent for going to the strategy like this. But here, I don't know. I don't know if Steel actually does realize it. I don't think he does. We've got pushes in the north here. We started off with a skirmish in the center of the northern flank, and now it's rotated down here. So trying to make a push for the city, which is good. Try to go for that. It's the closest one to your front line. Okay, we have armor being committed in the south. And even more armor being built. Okay, amphibious assault. 3 lights turned into boats. And okay, he's trying to go in for the breakthrough here. He's not contesting. Okay, this guy overextended. It is what it is. Oh, that was a slight mistake there. He could have wrapped around and saved the dude. Would it have been decisive? Debatable. I think it would have. If you got the timing just right, it would have been all right. Now, the landings here weren't properly contested. So 2 lights managed to get in behind and land properly. This third light, he got caught off here and then retreated back. Yeah, that was not a bad play. Okay, so good maneuvers here by Hono. You see there something that I mentioned many times before. You want to give orders to one of your units to walk into your own city that's already under siege, and that way, in case your unit on the city falls, so you don't just give up the city immediately. Opportunity for encirclement here. Steel is right at the gates, but the attrition is taking a toll. There's a lot of losses stacking up right now. Okay, yeah, he's going around for the flank now. I've slowed down the replay. Yes, push for the middle. Yeah, you can knock out this guy and he's toast. There you go. Those guys are toast. Your attackers on the main flank here. What I would do is I would call off the attacks on these 3 guys. Just leave them on defense. Right, Hono has committed his army to the south. And actually, no. He's kept the main units there. He recommitted all his armor to try to save the city. Yeah, okay. Okay. We lose a tank there. City has been relieved. And there is not enough mass here to re-push the city. I'd call it off here. You have opportunity in the north, but due to fog of war, I don't blame Steel for not really capitalizing or seeing it. Oh, he's going for it now. Okay. You gotta be careful. He's already overextended there. You've managed, because of your push, and you've managed to do what I failed to do, but you also were about a few minutes late to the party, is that you push straight for this city here, which is the right move. Once you've gone full lights, you've got the advantage in terms of numerical superiority. It's closest to your front line. You push for it and you try to take it. and your opponent, since he's gone full heavies, takes time for him to mobilize and really remaneuver to defend it. Like I said, you were about a minute or two late, so he did manage to recommit all his armor into the defense. But that in turn means is that you screwed up his operational planning. He did not get to commit his armor in where he wanted to fight, which, judging by his posturing, probably was that he wanted to go to the south, but didn't quite happen. So you've messed up his planning there. You've thrown a wrench in it, but you haven't quite got you have not achieved any operational decisive victory, which is completely fine. For a game of War of Dots, especially when you're playing between two opponents that are fairly even. In this case here, I would say you guys are pretty much even in terms of micro. The games will go on like this. So it's all right. Okay, you've given up the south here. Judging by how weak your southern flank is, yep, that's completely fine. You've mismicroed a couple of units here and there, but it is what it is. Right. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous. Ono has massive advantage in the south right now. If he pushes right now, you're going to have a tough time trying to remaneuver to get across because you've only got one bridge here. You also have a very small crossing in the far east that you can siphon units off to relieve your cities in the south. But yeah, you want to be careful. You want to be real careful. Okay, yeah, he's overextended armor unit. Nice, good encirclement. Pin him. Yes, good, nice. Okay. Yeah, there were opportunities in the north side here, but Fog of War, you didn't know. And judging by troop numbers, Hono has you outnumbered just slightly. Yeah, I wouldn't have gambled trying to yeet one of the lights into the backlines there just to see if he has a city that's lightly or undefended. Okay, maneuvers in the south. Increase the speed here. Be committing to the front line. This tank is pinned here between 3 units. However, his units are much weaker. You can definitely break this guy out. Yes, very nice. Okay. You cycle the armor back. You're bringing in. They're not completely resupplied, but they're above half health. So that's more than enough. You need to be careful with this. You need to be careful with your cycling on this city. Ah, that's nice. Very good. Very good encirclement. Yes, good pins, good blocks. Very nice. Massive improvements over the micro and the use of power projection. Yeah, but as I was saying, you want to be very careful once you have a city that's this close to the front line. Even a slight misplay or slight misclick, the dude might just walk somebody right through your lines and cap the city. Okay, that's good. That's good right there. This is a mistake that I usually make because I'm too busy microing the front line. I still want to try commit to building units, but then usually what happens is that I forget I'm building the unit, and then I forget to cycle a fresh unit onto the city, leaving it exposed. Hano has managed to do it twice, I believe, in his backline, so very good micro going on here. Good management of resources, good management of cities. Okay, so we have a change in numerical superiority in the south, and Steele has realized this, and he's going for it. He went for a gap just on the shoreline of the river, pushed his armor through, and now he's committed to the attack. I believe you actually do have enough mass here, especially if you bring in the rest of your units that are on the cities, you cycle them, and you do it quite fast. You've got enough here for an actual proper push to take the city. So, okay, Hono is now cycling his units, his armor from the northern side down to the south. He's getting ready to defend. He's amassing his forces, getting them resupplied. You now have an opportunity for the city here on this like peninsula. I think you see it. Yeah, you definitely see it because you've got vision now across here. You've also seen him pull his guys out. You just need to block this bridge here, keep the pressure up on this south side, on this side of the bridge, so that he can't maneuver any forces around. You got him pinned here. There's not much you can do now. He pulled way too many forces out from this side on the northern side, It was a very premature remaneuver. You really only needed to pull back 1 or 2 units, Hano, because you have all these reserves in the north here that aren't doing anything. So you just pull off 1 or 2 dudes to bring them down to the south side here. That's enough to put this a stopgap. And then the rest of the units that you've got here in the north, you bring them out. We have a really big mismatch in terms of force concentration. Steele has managed to isolate the parts of the battlefields that he wants to commit his forces. It's going down to this city right here on the north side and the city on the south here. He's jockeying for position for the last 30 minutes. Try to get that maneuvering on, and he's now capitalizing on it. Okay. Switching the armor into boats to get them across. Good, very nice. If you want to save the city, you really need to make moves in the north here because you can very easily cut him across. Yeah, you've got way too many units sitting in the back. Yes, you're trying to resupply, recycle, trying to get the health up, trying to get the morale up, but because of how aggressive Steel is going right now, you have to take into account that you're defending, he's attacking. You can afford to commit these forces, even though they're on the weaker side and not really ideal to commit to the fight. You have to be able to judge that my opponent is already moving in really hard. He's already been pushing for the last 5 minutes. I can afford to do this. You've got the defender's advantage. There we go. We've got the push in the north. Now what do we have here? Overextension. Oh, yeah. You've got one larger unit here. Yeah, you just need to keep this guy here, and the rest is alright. You've taken the city in the south. You're at the gates in the north. He's got an encirclement. Hano's got the encirclement in your northern army. Okay, good. He just, yeah, it was too little too late in this case. You've got a foothold in the south. He does not have enough forces to retake. If you want to come back now, he's gonna have to. Oh, nah. It was too little, too late. He managed to resupply from the south side here. Very nice, good maneuvers. Operationally outplayed. That's what I was saying. Once it had this encircled here, the other part that I wasn't paying attention to is that you needed to block this bridge off to stop any of the rotations from the south side because the city had fallen. And once that had occurred, opportunity was to flank around and push hard into the backline cities here because they were relatively weakly defended. They all had just one unit on the cities and there weren't any real reserves. But yeah, we have a 2-to-1 numerical mismatch now, 200,000 to 100,000. Casualties are reaching 500,000 each. And yep, once you've had a city for about a couple of minutes or so, and in this case you had two, there's not much you can do. The shift in the economy goes way too far into whichever player has already achieved that advantage that it does kind of become a little bit futile. It's obviously not completely game over because there are plenty of games that I posted on the channel where you can just give up the whole city and just still win the game. It has happened. But judging by how the micro was on both sides here, it was a fairly even game. Both players understood all of the main mechanics of the game, understood cycling. They had build orders and build strategies. Yeah. Yeah. It was a very well played game. It just came down to just being a little bit too late on Hono's side to get some of the fights and trying to push and commit the armor and a few miscalculations here and there. Mainly it was towards the end there, you left way too many reserves in the back lines in the north and you were too timid to commit them despite the fact that Steel was pushing really heavily. Those were the two main miscalculations there that basically cost you the game. If you had committed them earlier, recognized that you could commit them earlier, you would have been able to easily repel, and this game could have gone on for 2 hours straight. But it is what it is.